Hey family, welcome back. I am doing a part 2 for the Contemplating Reverse video because I watched it a couple of times, and as I'm watching it, I'm talking to God like, why is it not sounding like I'm saying what I need to say all the way? And he took me back to my notes and he was like, you were protecting me. So my notes said something different than what my video said. In my video, I was really trying to sugarcoat it. I was really trying to sugarcoat it because I just love God so much and I want to protect him, and I just don't want anyone to get the wrong impression about God. I already know there's so many people that are so mad at God already that I would never want more anger to come, out of one of my videos towards God. So I was protecting him with my notes. I didn't say, I kind of changed them a little bit to kind of protect God. And I was praying about it and I was meditating on it, and God was like, I don't need you to protect me. I can hold my own, basically, is what he was saying. I can hold my own. Just say it how you're supposed to say it so that it all gets told. So that's what I'm going to do. So nothing I said in my first video was wrong. Just every time you heard me say, when someone treats you wrong, when someone treated you bad, what I actually was supposed to say at that time was when God treats you wrong and when God treats you bad, because it is going to get that hard, and it will hurt that bad to where you're like, you know what, God? I have been praying to you. I have been crying to you. We can't keep blaming the devil. This is me and you now. It does get that painful at times when you're doing this with God. This is definitely this is not for the weak. This is not for the weak. This is why I'm expecting some people will just turn away from this. This is just point blank period. It's too hard for them. How many people have you met that are, not only do they not believe in God, but they specifically try to dog him out? Okay, those people are the people who probably hit this point in their walk with God. They probably hit this season in their walk with God, and it got too hard and too difficult, and they booked it. They fled the other way because it was just a little bit too hard for them, right? But it absolutely will. It will get that hard to where you're like, you know what, God, this is between me and you now. Gloves off, masks off. I'm praying to you. I've been crying to you. I've been trusting in you. We can't keep blaming the devil for this. So yes, when I was saying, if you go back and watch that video, every single time I said, when people treated you bad, what I switched the people. I switched God for people. So I was kind of trying to do it in a way that, okay, people are going to treat you bad, but it's a good thing. When people treat you bad, they actually like you the most. But I was trying to say, when you think God treats you bad, because it does get that bad where you're like, at this point, it's got to be God's doing now. You don't pray this much. You don't cry this much. You don't stand 10 toes down like this, and it's just the devil playing. No, this is strategic right here. And that is God's work. He does not do this for nothing. God likes his people the strongest. So when you feel like God is, this is what it says in my notes, and he said, I don't have to protect him. It says, when you feel God treats you like he hates you, he really loves you the most. That's going to be like a concept that's like, But this is why I said this is kind of a little more advanced, because this is hard. You're first and foremost, get straight with God, get on solid ground with God. But this right here, this is when he's actually seeing who he's working with you, and you too, you're seeing who you're working with God, and because that pressure comes, and it absolutely does get that terrifying to where you're just like, okay, this ain't no demon work no more, God. This is me and you now. Like, what's up, for real? Like when you get to the part where you cried enough, you condemned that devil enough, you've silenced that devil enough, and yet all that pressure is still piling up. That's when you go to God, like, okay, for real, what's up now? God does that because you are his chosen baby. You are his chosen child right there. God does that. He wants his people to be exceptional. You cannot be exceptional by having everything easy. Stuff does have to get hard for you. You can't run away from challenge. That's the whole point. That's the point. Like, there's in my lifetime of doing YouTube, you're gonna notice a pretty common theme, I'm sure, after however many years I do this. But one of the main ones is you cannot be scared of challenge. Not only can you not be scared of challenge, but you also have to start admiring challenge. You also have to start desiring challenge. That has to be your, like, ooh, fun, Like, okay, let me give you an example. When you go to the gym, when you're going to the gym, right? If you want to get stronger, you have to want to put those weights up a little bit higher, right? If you just stay doing the same weights, your body is going to get so used to it that it's going to be basically like you didn't even work out. If you say you do 30 pounds every single time you go to the gym, and you keep doing that same 30 pounds for years, it's going to basically be like you didn't even go to the gym if you keep doing that 30 pounds. Because it was not hard for you. You did not better, you know what I mean? Like, you did not better your muscles in any way. You have to literally want to challenge yourself. You have to desire to challenge yourself in order to put those weights up just a little bit higher, And not everybody does that. And first of all, not everybody goes to the gym. Secondly, not everybody who goes to the gym wants to get stronger. So the second, really, too, when God really starts to see you really taking this stuff seriously, you will feel more pressure, because he's like, okay, I really want to see what I really want to see. He's putting you to that, like, oh, I really want to see. Let's see. Let's really see if she's ready or he's ready. So that's what I was trying to say. Start reversing everything. When you're starting to feel like, man, God is treating me really bad. This ain't the devil no more. Like, this is God's doing. After so long, you're like, this is God now. When you feel like that, just know when you feel like he hates you, just know he sees it in you the most. I know all the time, all throughout the Bible, it says, do not lean on our own understanding, because there's so much stuff that's going on behind the scenes in the spiritual world that we have no clue what he's doing. It is like beyond us. Like, it's not just like it's not in the next realm. It's in like 3 realms away. Like, there's just no way we will understand what God is doing behind the scenes. So like in this physical world, when it does feel like the worst, just know God is loving you the most in that spiritual realm. And so that's what I was trying to say with that. Just start reversing stuff. Just start reversing stuff. Even, and I forgot to say this in that video too, even the good stuff that happened in your life, I think you can even go back and recognize, like, even that didn't better you in any way. The people who were easy on you, they were probably an enemy. The people who didn't expect you to grow, they were probably one of your enemies. Yes, dog. I know it. Trust and believe, I know it. Even the good stuff. Think about it. Even like the stuff we eat, candy, sugar, all bad for us, but it's the best tasting. Okay, the people who you run to go answer their call when you see them calling are the people you really need to be like, or probably even the people you need to block, or the people you need to at least put on silence. Those people that you literally run to when they call, you run. That's the one where you need to, like, hold on a second. Is this person good for me? Is this person productive for my day? Straight up. This, and like I said, this is not easy. The good stuff that you got to switch up in your brain is the hardest part. The last video in part 1, I just spoke on the bad stuff, which kind of the bad stuff would have been a little bit easier to flip in your mind. But the good stuff, for you to have to, like, deny your pleasures and deny your desires and flip that around in your head, that's hard, bro. That is no joke. This is no joke. God is not playing with you. You know, I've had to cut off some of my favorite people when I really realized y'all are playing with me. I've had to cut off people who speak to people who are playing with me, who still communicate with people who play with me. And they were some of my favorite people. But for my own health and my own growth, I had to do it. This is not easy. And stay away from people who try to do everything easy. This is part 2. You guys go ahead and subscribe. I might have a surprise coming for you in my next video. I don't want to ask you guys to like my videos anymore. If you like my video, you like it yourself. So I'm not going to ask you to like my videos. But I will ask you to subscribe just in case you haven't yet, because I got some stuff coming. So yes, if you are just a supportive person, then you may want to see what God has been doing in my life. I got some testimonies I'm going to share too that I have to share. It's not even my choice anymore. I have to. So yes, if you have not already, go ahead and subscribe. And I love you guys so much, and God does too. Never forget how much God wake up every single day and tell yourself, God loves me. That is not arrogant. That is not full of yourself. You can say that. Confidently say that. God loves me.